Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and the podcast, Bros Having Convos. Here I am, Wes, and
And my name's Tim.
we are bros, and we are about to have a convo.
To put it straight.
That's exactly what we're doing. Today's topic is going to be about a movie we saw the other night called The Call.
The Call.
Now there are many movies called The Call.
Are there many movies?
There are several. Not many.
Not many.
Not many. There's
a couple.
One, there's like
a
one
handful.
a couple. Not a couple. Several years ago with Halle Berry called The Call.
Yeah.
I watched that one. That was pretty much like an abduction story, like a kidnapping.
That was definitely a thrilling movie.
Yeah, that was crazy. But today's one is a more recent one. It's a South Korean movie, The Call. It's I guess a quick synopsis on the show. For some reason, this girl who lives out in the country lives in like this quote unquote haunted house. So she's getting a call. Oh, she forgets her phone on the train or something. So she's calling and
Basically tries to get it back.
Gets her phone back, but she basically can't get her phone back because someone steals it, I think. But she keeps getting calls in her house from this unknown person. She's like, "Oh, who are you? Like, where are you from?" Yeah. And it turns out the person who's calling her is a girl that used to live in the house 20 years ago. Yeah. So that's like kind of like the big gimmick or like the hook of the story is that she's getting a call from a
someone
girl
in the past.
That used to live in the same house that she's living now. I think her mom's in the hospital and her dad like passed away a long time ago in a fire. So me and Tim watched this video last night, or not last night, the other night, and it was a very
other night, and it was definitely a ride.
It was definitely right. If you like thriller movies where you're just like at the edge of your seat, like what in the world is gonna happen?
This might be down your alley.
Yeah, and I personally like these type of movies because it's always exciting.
It's just like, whoa, what's is gonna happen?
Next?
Like I definitely would like. I tend to watch movies that have like some sort of gimmick, like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Like time travel.
Time travel stuff is always fun.
Those are fun. Like when you can, like Kimi no Na wa.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily time travel, but then it's like interacting with someone
time
in the past. But
so this one kind of deals with time too, because it's a person in the present day contacting a girl in the past. Yeah. And that kind of whole like exchange is like so interesting, I guess.
It kind of starts off as like a whole thing about just like, oh yeah, like let's push the limits of this.
Yeah, let's push the limits of this.
What we could do with this. Oh, and it turns out that she can change, the girl in the past can change the future.
So what ends up being like the central conflict is that the girl in the present kind of asks for something that she wasn't quite ready for. So basically she ends up asking the girl in the past, like, hey, or they're experimenting with this time thing, like, hey, there something's gonna happen on that day, wait for it to happen. And then the girl in the past waits and it actually happens, and she's like, wow, how can you do that? It's like, well, I'm from the future.
They kept doing a bunch of stuff with it, and they pretty much like the girl in the past ends up being like, oh, remember that how you said like your dad like died in a fire, and then she ends up going and like prevents the death of her father.
Of her dad. So I guess a little backstory to that. The girl in the past is basically like an abused child.
Yeah,
not abused child. She's like 30 in the right. I know she's old.
She's like 28. I think.
28 or something.
She's been like abused for her whole life, like
shut in by her stepmom,
who's like this crazy shaman.
I'm like,
oh man,
bad vibes from her.
That is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. So she's already in a really bad situation. With that said, that makes her very mentally unstable. Yeah, and that she just cannot make, I think, rational decisions, and she's just like sick in the head.
But she's sick in the head, like because of
because of that.
Parents and family. It's like it goes to show, like it's a little bit of a tangent, but parents and family is very important.
Yes,
parents are very important influence on your children. But
where it goes from there?
Because she's like very mentally unstable. and she's literally an adult, 28 years old.
Yeah,
and she has the crazy shaman lady, like,
yeah, shaman stepmom,
treating her abusively.
Yeah, so yeah, we can so what kind of sets off the entire conflict of the story is that the mentally unstable girl from the past
changes the girl's future,
changes the present girl's future,
and ends up kind of like the girl gets what she wants. You know,
yeah,
she
exactly.
Finally, she gets the life that she's like, I guess she's
always wanted.
She was supposed to wanted to have.
Yeah,
so with her dad alive and her, you know, like her mom's not sick.
Yeah,
and, so you know, they're in a good house and good jobs and good life.
Yeah, she basically changes the future so that the girl in the present has like the life she's always wanted, basically.
Yeah.
And so, you know, along with that, right? So she's able to like hang out with her dad now. Her family is basically successful and happy, and like everything is good. So what happens? She goes out with her, you know, the present girl and the past girl like talk on the phone like every night, right?
Yeah,
or pretty constantly. The present girl goes out, and the girl in the past is like, "Why aren't you answering?" She keeps calling and calling.
It's because, you know, she's hanging out with her family.
Yeah,
she's
with her
spending
family,
time
right?
with her family.
With her family.
Like,
but then the mentally unstable girl
and then,
takes it personally. Like, why are you ignoring me?
She takes it personally, and like, plus not to mention like the mentally unstable girl who's shut in doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, she doesn't have friends, so she's the only friend that she has.
And you know, that would probably drive me crazy too.
Exactly.
Like, not having any interaction with the outside world, and not having friends, and having like your both of your parents like passed away, and then all you have is just like this crazy shaman lady.
Yeah,
as your stepmom, like as your mom, basically.
Yeah, so
your parent guardian.
Kinda,
like, it's her life that she lives is messed up.
Yeah, it's really
very messed up.
So the conflict happens when the past girl realizes that she can change the future because she already did it once.
Yeah.
By saving the girl's dad, right?
Yeah.
So she kind of takes advantage of that and basically goes, "Hey, do what I say," or like basically you have to do what I say, or else I will ruin your life.
Yeah, because
you know
I changed your life.
Because look how much I helped you. You know, you get to live a happy life.
It's like you gotta do what I messed up life. You gotta do what I want you to do. You have to be my friend. You
have to be my friend.
Talking to me when I want you to be. You have to answer the phone when you want me to be.
Yeah.
When I want you to answer the phone.
And it turns out, right, that that girl in the past, right, in the present, she's actually a serial killer. Yeah. She actually killed people. So
yeah.
So I think the girl in the present realizes that.
Yeah.
And is like
that she done messed up.
Yeah, she messed up. She saved a serial killer from
going to prison.
Because it's on the present girl's fault too. She tells the mentally unstable serial killer girl, "You're gonna go to jail at some point, right?" And she's like, "Oh, really?"
It's like, okay,
so you do this for me. Find out how they find the evidence, and I'll spare your family's life, because she knows where her family lives now.
And then
right?
she knows that she can
affect the future.
The present girl's present.
Yeah. So it just becomes this like whole like battle between her in the present and the girl in the past, because she even tries to kill the girl in the past, right? She's like, "Oh, go." She looks up like news articles in that year on that day, and she found one where there's like an explosion. So she leads the girl to the explosion to hopefully kill her, so that she doesn't, exactly, right? That's what you would. I mean, I wouldn't probably want to think of that, but then that's what she did to try to kill the girl, but she ends up surviving somehow.
Which is like devastating. Like,
yeah, if I
like,
heard that, I'd be like, oh
my gosh, the serial killer girl is like, what the heck? Oh my goodness, that like,
yeah,
I cannot be like imagine what it would be like.
Yeah, exactly.
But then like I think moving on like with the story, like she ends up the mentally unstable girl in the past ends up crossing paths with her family.
She ends up because in the present, after the happy present that the present girl is living in, her family lives in the house that the mentally unstable is. Like they buy the house like some years before, and she ends up growing up in that house, so that's why they live in that same house, right? So at some point in the past, her parents, want to buy the house, and it's like, hey,
and then
hey, can we buy this house?
And then the mentally unstable girl is in there.
And she's like,
so that's something that the mentally unstable girl like holds
hostage, basically.
Hangs over like the present girl's head.
Yeah.
Which is, oh man, it's like it's so messed up.
It's so messed up. Yeah, like coming out of this movie, I'm like, man, this is really messed up, because the present girl is at the mercy of the past girl.
Yeah, because
like she can do whatever she wants in the past
to her.
Yeah, and she's the one who gave her dad back, essentially, but she can easily take it away by killing the dad in the past.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean? So that's, and what's really messed up too is that the current, the main timeline is where her dad died long time ago, but then she changes the timeline to make it so it's happy, right? But then what's messed up is that in that timeline now, the present girl has memories of her dad dying in the past, so she lives through that. It's pretty messed up. I mean, on a timeline sake, it doesn't really make sense, right? On a timeline sake, it just doesn't.
Yeah,
really
I
make
mean,
sense.
like that's just like a gimmick. Like
it's just it's a movie.
I think it's still a cool concept. The movie itself, the shots were great. It was really nice.
Well shot.
Well shot. Like the scenes are great. Everything. The movie looks great. The acting was great. All that good stuff. But like, once I came to the ending.
Yeah. So you want to tell them about the ending?
Yeah.
So like kind of like it's a couple steps back of where the mom saves her.
Yeah.
So from there.
Like she gave the mentally unstable girl messed up, or she basically gave the girl a good life, the life that she wanted, and then she basically not only took away all of that what she gave her, but then she made it even worse. And then like there's like the thing at the end, like the mom, like is with the police, goes to the police guy. And then like realizes like the dad's missing because the mentally unstable girl killed him, and like man, there's still a lot to explain. Like that ends up like the mom in the past ends up saving the girl in the present. The present's mom ends up saving the present girl's life in the past, and then like the ending is kind of like shows like, oh yeah, wow, like the mom finally takes down the mentally unstable girl, and then
then it's like told through the scars, because during the fight, like she had to like hold a knife in, and like she was like stabbed a couple of times and stuff. So like the present girl, when she wakes up in her new reality, her new present, she sees her mom and she sees all the scars all over her arms and her hands. And she thinks back and is like, wow, this is my mom saved me, right? And you think it's a happy ending.
Yeah, it's like, wow, okay, she finally got out of it.
It's like oh man, it's a happy ending.
It's like, okay, great. But then at the end, like when they're showing the credits, it shows that the mentally unstable girl actually survived.
Yeah, she actually survived because mentally unstable girl in the present called mentally unstable girl in the past to warn them that the mom in the past was going to come to the house. So basically, she played the role of the present girl, the mentally unstable girl present, warned mentally unstable girl of the past of what was going to happen.
Yeah, so like basically all of that work
gets erased,
and then ends up that the mentally unstable girl in the present and the regular girl in the present takes the regular girl in the present hostage in the end, and it's like it comes full circle because she's like traps her in her house.
Yeah.
In the mentally unstable girl's house.
Yeah. And it's like she eventually, yeah, right? It's the first time they ever meet face to face too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they always only talk through the phone, so they don't know what each other looks like.
So
but then they finally meet in the present when she kidnaps her.
So it ends up, the present ends up being the mentally unstable girl never gets caught. The mentally unstable girl, like, the mom never takes her down. Because she survives, and the girl in the present gets taken hostage and, like, gets trapped, is under the mercy of the mentally unstable girl in the present.
Yeah. So basically, it just catches up with her.
Yeah.
And then I told this to Tim.
I guess, yeah.
When it ended, I was like, "What's the lesson here? Be careful what you wish for."
Yeah, that's the that's the exact, like, moral of the story, I guess, that you could take away from the movie.
It's like, be careful what you wish for, because
she was, like, unsatisfied. You remember, in the beginning,
she hated her life.
She hated her life. She, like, yelled at her mom and stuff. Yeah.
She blamed her mom that her dad died, because her mom was cooking something on the stove, but then she forgot to turn it off, and then that's how the house caught on fire. Stuff like that. But it turned out it wasn't actually the mom's fault. It was actually her fault, because she was little. As a child, she was playing with the stove.
Yeah, that's another lesson. Don't play with the stove.
Don't play with the stove.
Very dangerous. But she, in the end...
Yeah, it's just be careful what you wish for.
Careful what you wish for. And that's a really solid lesson.
It's really
very messed up way.
Yeah, it's a very
messed up story to teach that lesson.
Yeah,
it is not cool.
It's just like,
because it's a depressing ending. That's why it's like the mentally unstable girl won.
Yeah, it's like evil won, and that's not always like a best message to show, but it's in the sense of, like, teaching a lesson.
I guess it adds to, like, the unpredictableness of the movie. Yeah. You would expect it to go this way, but it went in another way. So I guess that's, it beats your expectations in that way. But
still yet.
I don't want to watch the movie again, because I don't want to feel depressed and sad
at the end, by the end of it.
And and then mentally unstable girl's really mad. She's, like, she killed her stepmom, the weird crazy shaman lady. Stepmom. And then she ended up going on a killing spree, killing whoever she wanted, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just basically like a child with a really messed up child in like a 28
really bad situation. A child put in a really bad situation.
Yeah. And basically, doing whatever she wanted to do.
Yeah. But really, you can't really blame her, to put 100% blame on her. It was none of it. The way that she turned out wasn't her fault.
Oh, it's her parents.
It was her lack of parents.
Yeah,
and then her family.
The crazy stepmom.
Don't get into the shaman stuff, guys.
Yeah,
that's another lesson. Don't get into the shaman stuff. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Family is important. So
family is very important.
Parents, I guess I'm not a parent. Coming from, I guess, observing. But I've seen from other people, family is very important. Kids,
for the development of a child.
Parents are very important to the development of a child, from what I've learned.
Both parents too.
Yeah,
mother and father, because you kind of get both sides. I just thought of it now. The mentally unstable girl only had her mom. It wasn't even her.
It wasn't her real mom.
It wasn't her real mom.
Her birth mom.
It was her stepmom.
And she wasn't a good mom.
Yeah, the stepmom wasn't even a good mom either.
She was a really messed up mom.
Yeah.
She abused her.
Abused her.
And locked her up in her room. Up to 28 years old.
Yeah.
That is a very. I can understand why you would go insane from that. And then
in terms of the present girl, she grew up without her dad, so it really messed her up.
Yeah,
and that made her hate her mom, because, it's like. he didn't have that father. She didn't have that father figure in her life.
Yeah, it's like kids need the mom and dad in your life, their life. So that's a good lesson to take away from it too. It's like for us who want to be dads of our own families, I guess that's a good lesson. A good lesson to take into starting our own families. But yeah, I think the call was. I don't know if I would recommend. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't say I recommend.
It's not a strong recommend. Like, not Train to Busan.
Like all of us are dead. Yeah,
like, you gotta watch it.
It's like a hey, if you're looking for something that's like,
if you're into the thrill,
if you're into like thriller stuff, give it a watch.
Yeah, but it's like a one-time thing at least for me.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch it again if I was gonna show like my friend.
It's just like, oh man, this is crazy.
This is a crazy movie. Watch it.
Let's watch it.
But it's like, it's not anything that I would like.
You wouldn't buy the DVD.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's so depressing. It's so such a negative ending, and like it doesn't hit like the wow, that was a good movie kind of like.
I mean,
thing.
Like it doesn't end on a positive note.
Yeah. It's like you know when you watch movies, you consume media, it's like you want to get away from reality and you want to feel happy, feel good.
But by the end of it.
But then
this one is
like opposite. It's like I don't want to watch it because I want to get away from like
negative,
the bad reality that there are bad people out there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean those are our thoughts on the call. That was our convo on the call.
Hey, even though all the negative stuff we were talking about, it's still a well shot movie. Yeah. It made you feel. The writers made you feel what I think they wanted you to feel.
Yeah.
But I can't. Definitely not for the kids. Again, this is not. Put the kids to sleep. That's the rating.
And then watch it with your spouse.
Put the kids to sleep and watch it to your spouse with your spouse.
We should have like a whole rating system.
Yeah, that's for the parental guidance.
Yeah,
the guidance on that.
Yeah.
Instead of and for mature and like rated R, this is put the kids to sleep and watch it with your spouse.
Yeah,
because it's very violent. It's very it's like graphic. Yeah. It could have been worse, but then it's still yucky, and like it gets real. But what do you say on the recommended scale?
I would say you could.
It's like a middle.
It's like a middle ground. Watch it if you want. If you like those type of movies, watch it.
But
if you have any other movie to watch, I'd put this like mid tier on your list.
It's not the top of the list to recommend on. So it's the middle.
In the middle.
It's in the middle
ground. Well, those are our thoughts on the call. What did you guys think of the movie? What did you guys think of our conversation? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.
Did you like it? Did you guys not like it?
Do you guys have the same thoughts as us? Because I don't know. I don't know if it's just us, coming out of this movie, but it was a very, depressing movie by the end of it.
Depressing, dark.
But yeah, leave you guys your thoughts in the comment section below. And this was Bros Having Convos.
We're bros having convos.
Yeah.
And had a convo.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.